Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here in Black Ops 6, we are going to see our first major update of the year with Season 1. Our first significant integration update. Obviously, Black Ops 6 is going to integrate into Warzone. We're going to see new Season 1 content with new weapons being added in, new operators, maps, modes, battle pass, everything like that that we usually see in a Season 1 update. However, as it stands right now in Black Ops 6, there is one significant issue that's already causing problems in multiplayer that's about to be heightened even more in the Black Ops 6 Warzone update, and that is going to directly affect every single player on the game. What we're talking about is weapon leveling. Things this year are obviously a little bit different in regards to this in the past couple of years. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 had a much more streamlined weapon leveling system in and of itself when it comes to just getting your weapon from level 0 or level 1, I guess, to whatever that weapon's max level was. Obviously, in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, you only had to go through about, 10, 15, 20 levels on some weapons being the max in most cases. Some secondaries only had up to level 12. Some primaries were like level 26. You went through and you had all of that weapon's base attachments. And then of course you had the universal shared attachments. So, all weapons had the same optics. You unlock it once on a rifle, you could use that same optic on any SMG, LMG, whatever the case was. Underbarrels, you unlock one movement based underbarrel on an SMG. You could also use it on your rifles, on your battle rifles, marksmen, snipers, whatever the case was, right? So it seemed like you had a lot more readily available at low levels on weapons. You could start off at weapon level 3 on a rifle, and because you've unlocked and leveled so many other guns, you instantly had access to a bunch of the quote-unquote meta attachments that you could then spam across your setups from a low level. Now, I think from a gameplay standpoint, that did make weapon leveling a little bit less rewarding, but it also made the stress of needing to go through and max level every weapon to make sure you had all the best attachments available at any given point a lot less. It was way easier to go through and max level weapons in previous years. Black Ops 6, though, as we've seen so far, is the polar opposite. This game is a grind when it comes to maxing out your weapons. And that's talking even in multiplayer, or you could even reference zombies for this as well, where there have been a lot of streamlined XP glitches with, the boat strat that was going on for some time and being able to go invincible because of some glitches. So you could just max out your XP earn rate in a match. Even then, XP was taking a ton of time to go through and actually get enough to max level a rifle or an SMG, because obviously in this game there are no universal attachments. So for every single rifle, you're gonna have to go through and get it to whatever the max desired level is for the best barrel, the best underbarrel, the best stock. It's no more rinse and repeat. Hey, I got the underbarrel on my XM4 and now I can use it on whatever LMG or rifle I want. Each weapon actually is going to require you this year to go through and max it out if you want to make sure you always have the absolute best setup available for it. And in Black Ops 6, doing so is already taking a ton of time. Now, luckily, I think the game's a lot of fun, so I'm enjoying going through and maxing out everything. In fact, as of recording this, I've been playing so much since launch. I've got every gun maxed out because I want to make sure I have the best information for you guys when we're going through and we're talking about weapons and class setups and everything, and so that I can test everything and be super accurate on day one of the Warzone integration. That way you guys will have the best info out there. And of course, as we do see those updates end up dropping, and if you want to guarantee you are in the know for the latest meta weapons, the best builds, and of course all the news, updates, and patch notes that'll be coming as well, this is the absolute best place to be to stay up to date with that stuff. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, join us on the road to 1 million subs. And if you enjoy this video, you agree with the points that I'm raising here, you want to shine some more light on it, and ideally maybe have some things adjusted to be a bit more casual friendly, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. But yeah, the weapon leveling, it's slow in Black Ops 6. It's been painfully slow, but as I alluded to earlier, this issue is going to be even more heightened and even more extreme when Warzone drops, particularly for free-to-play players. If you're not someone who is planning on playing Black Ops 6 or playing Black Ops 6 Zombies to level weapons or to get XP there, you are exclusively playing Warzone. Sure, we're probably going to have some kind of more casual mode, whether it be plunder or perhaps they bring back a purgatory-like sandbox mode that lasts 2 hours or whatever. Those modes will obviously be pretty efficient for going through and trying to get some weapon XP, trying to get your camo grinds done and everything like that and level things up. but also a lot of players don't necessarily love those modes. They'd rather play Resurgence or Battle Royale. And as free-to-play players, that really complicates things in terms of actually optimizing your weapon level experience. And that's not a, specific issue for just Black Ops 6. It's been the case with MW2, MW3. It's been the case with previous CODs in the older eras of Warzone as well. It was just a lot easier in MW2 and MW3 because the lower max level for weapons. This year though, again, higher weapon levels. Pretty much every single weapon in the game is a minimum of level 30 and potentially some even a max of like 45, 46, 47. If you are exclusively a free-to-play player now, jumping into Warzone, unless they make some serious tweaks to Weapon XP, you are going to have to play an absolute ton to end up optimizing your setups and max leveling every single weapon. You jump into a game, you might not get your desired rifle or your desired SMG because you're focused on ground loot. And until you get your custom loadouts, then you can't get your actual weapon you're trying to level up. But then if your weapon's not max level, you're using a weapon that's got maybe 1 or 2 attachments unlocked, and you're going up against players who may have a weapon fully kitted out and they're ready to go. And I know some people might already be commenting, are we really complaining about having to play the game? It's a video game, it's fun, it's a hobby. And I agree with you there. Like, if you want to play the game a ton, you should be able to. It shouldn't be a chore though in some cases. And I think that's kind of where this leans, only because of how strict engagement-based matchmaking and skill-based matchmaking is in Warzone and in multiplayer. Sure, I want to play the game a ton. Like, I've logged something like 70 plus hours when I'm recording this video already in game, hence why I have every weapon maxed out, right? But I want to be able to play the game a ton. I want to be able to have fun doing that. But at a certain point, when you're trying to max level weapons, because you never know what random Tuesday they might buff or nerf a weapon and make it ridiculously broken or completely ruin your favorite build, right? You have to have that safety net of other weapons being viable and being maxed out and ready to actually use them. And you're competing against skill-based matchmaking and engagement-based matchmaking where everything is super sweaty. If you're a decent player, you're always going up against decent players. And if you're trying to max level weapons and level things up as you're going against other sweaty players who may have already had the time to do so, that just makes the process even more rough. So between the already very slow weapon XP earn rates in Black Ops 6, the free-to-play aspects and the limits that sort of puts into place, I guess, into effect with how efficient you can actually be with using your direct weapon and getting every single kill with that weapon like you could in multiplayer or zombies, it's a concern for sure for free-to-play players going into Black Ops 6 Warzone. Not to mention double XP things. Like, we had a double weapon XP weekend already. We have XP tokens available in the game. And even though I had maxed out double weapon XP tokens from all the various promos that they did with Little Caesars, Monster, everything like that, and even though we had a weapon XP weekend, it still took a long time to max out those guns when you get into those higher weapon levels to get those final few meta attachments. And we've also seen in the past that double XP doesn't even always work right. Sometimes tokens aren't even actually giving you true double XP, or I've seen posts, especially from our double weapon XP weekend, where players weren't even actually earning double the XP either. Like, it wasn't even close. So even when we have those active, while it might be a little bit better, it's still not truly optimizing the experience in the way that it claims it is. So this update for Warzone and for Black Ops 6 with the integration here is going to be interesting. They very easily could go through, and they absolutely have the chance to go through and update weapon XP and make it easier to max level guns. Do I think they're going to do that? No, at least not for some time though, because free-to-play players jumping onto Warzone, there's going to be a massive influx in player count when Warzone and Black Ops 6 integrate with Season 1. That's going to happen by default. It happens every single year. And especially this year, Black Ops 6 is a record-breaking Call of Duty. It's got a ton of players on it. Even more people are going to be jumping on for Warzone. And as we know, Warzone is oftentimes, used as like the entry barrier, if you will, for getting people to buy multiplayer so they can optimize their weapon leveling experience and their rank up experience and everything like that. Their camo challenges, reticles, everything like that as well, right? They are going to use Warzone as a place to introduce you to, hey, you should buy multiplayer. It'll make your life a lot easier. And they want to get those Black Ops 6 premium sales in. So that's why I think at first, they're definitely not going to make the weapon leveling even easier in Warzone, because if it's at least remotely, even slightly, more optimized for multiplayer to get faster weapon XP and to level up quicker, that's going to entice players to buy it, and they know that. And I would imagine that's probably going to be the case. So we might see it sometime down the road when they're not nearly as focused on getting as many sales, as many Game Pass signups, right? But at least at launch, I can see this being a serious issue. So we'll have to see how this situation evolves over the coming days and weeks. If anything does change, obviously you guys know I'm gonna have you covered with the need to know info. So stick it here for that alongside everything else going on in COD by, of course, hitting that subscribe button and turning on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be seriously appreciated as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.